day. How are you all today? How are you all today? Some time ago I did a video on lower back pain and how to relieve it when you're at work or just when you have a chair around so you can just quickly do something. I've just got back from a walk and what I'm realizing is that my hips feel quite tight after this walk, and I've had a few people mention over the past few weeks about lower back pain, tight hips, a little bit of a spasms here and there, just not feeling good around this lower core area. So what I thought I'd do today is give you 3 little exercises to put together into a little routine that you can do hopefully every day. Or spend maybe 5-10 minutes a day looking at these 3 exercises. Now the first one we're going to look at is a cat-cow yoga exercise. But what I'm not focusing on is we're not focusing on the spine doing that high and low form. So I'll have a look at that as we go. Alright, let's pull away. So normally what we'll be looking at is we'll be looking at the spine position, and we'll be looking at trying to force it up as much as possible and then extend and then drop it down. Alright, and that's cool. Alright, that's really good. But what we're going to be looking at is we're going to be looking at this pelvis, and we're going to be looking at a tilt of the pelvis as we go through that cat-cow, and that's where we're going to be focusing on. So from this position, what I want to do is I want to draw the hips underneath and then push them back. So I'm drawing the hips underneath and then pushing them back. I'm still going to get a rise and a fall in the shoulder area and the upper back, but I'm really predominantly tucking the hip, the tailbone under, and then pushing it back. So you might want to do 5 to 10 of these and then drawing it back. So what you want to feel is you want to feel this hip pivot underneath and then drop back. So that's the first exercise. Yeah. The second exercise is a butt or a glute engagement exercise. Now instead of doing a normal hip lift, lying on the back, knees bent and lifting the bum up as high as possible, what we're going to get you to do is we're going to get you to lie on your back with the soles of your feet together and as close as possible. Trying to keep the knees as wide apart as possible. Side on. Hopefully you can get it in the picture. Might need to move a little bit further away. Alright, gonna lie back. Head's gonna go out of the picture. I'm not really bothered about that. Pushing the knees down, and at that point I'm gonna activate my bum by pushing the hips up while trying to keep the knees nice and wide apart. As I squeeze up, I'm going to be squeezing the bottom together and then bring it back down. Again, 5 to 10 of those. Keeping the knees as wide as apart, soles together, and that activates the bum, the glute muscles, alright, to take pressure off the psoas and the iliacus. The last exercise, alright, we've done an exercise before called the greatest stretch. Alright, so from a kneeling position, this is the simplest version. You want to step forward, keeping the torso as upright as possible, and this back knee wants to be behind the hip, because we want to be stretching this area, not just the quadricep. What's vitally important is that the back leg is not rotated across the body or across the back of the body. We want it in a straight line, and we're pushing down at that point. So you can do it that way. If you want to make it a little bit more, if you can manage it, what you want to do from that position is you want to take both palms down to the ground, keep the back nice and flat, and again I'm pushing this hip down to the ground. That's what I'm aiming for. I'm really driving the hip down to the ground. You can do both sides. To kick it in that next step further, you want to have either the wall, a sofa, a ball, some form of object that you can raise your foot up a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to back into the wall. I'm going to place one leg up against the wall, so the knee is almost against the wall, and then what I want to do is I want to bring the other leg round, and I want to be as upright as possible. Now I can feel that stretch straight into the quad, so I'm going to draw the knee away from the wall just slightly, because I really want to be as vertical as possible, so I'm pushing my back towards the wall. You're going to get a stretch, deep stretch into the quadricep, into the hip. Now the best way to do this is squeeze that bottom, that glute, as much as possible, the one that's closest to the heel. And again, you want to squeeze it, breathe out as you do so, and then relax, and then go over to the opposite side. Again, knee against the wall, or as much as possible, raise platform, squeeze the bottom, breathe out, relax, and go to the opposite side. Again, 5 to 10 repetitions each side. So, cat-cow, looking at the pelvis. Then you want to look at the hip lift with the soles of the feet together. Then you want to do the deep hip stretch and quad stretch either on the floor or get that heel raised up a little bit, right, so you can get a little bit more depth. But the majorly important thing about that is that your spine is as upright as possible. It doesn't want to be leaning forward at that point. So if it's too intense, lower the foot and get that vertical chest position or vertical back position. Now, before you start those, make sure that you've seen a professional, seen someone about your back, and they've said that it's not a problem with the discs, it's not a problem with the spine, and that they think that is an imbalance within the muscles. And if that is the case, have a go, see what you think, let us know, and I'll catch you all later. Have a great day. Bye now.